Welcome to Open-Eyed Meditation. This is the second part of our series of Manifest Your Dreams. Yesterday, we worked with placing our space vertically. Yesterday, we worked with placing our bodies vertically in space. We put a point on the floor and stood on it and began to see the dimensions around us. Today we're going to sit on that point and then share a focus externally from ourselves out in front. This could be a point on the wall, a mandala. Ultimately, it'll be another person whose eyes you will gaze into. What happens, though, is that when we begin to meditate and don't place ourselves onto the earth, we wobble. We move back and forth. We don't know where to place ourselves. So we're going to do today, using this method, to align ourselves and keep ourselves steady here in the three-dimensional plane. Once we do that, we can begin to better travel into inner dimensions. So it's very simple. We're going to start with a rhythmic breath. So just be loose in your belly. Let your diaphragm relax. Let your breath drop down into the low belly. And then breathe in through the nose if you can. If you got a stuffy nose, it's going to be hard. That's okay. We're just breathing in. 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And exhale down. You could see that I'm moving my hand to show the expansion of the breath as it settles down and releases. As we breathe in, the breath expands. And as we exhale, the breath contracts, or the energy contracts. At some point, energy and breath become simultaneously occurring events. Now gently push down with the end of your breath. And as you push down, breathe in and bring the breath up. It's like suctioning it right on up to the top of the head. And at the top of the head, pause for a moment, and then exhale and let it come back down. So we'll keep with that rhythmic breathing pattern as we proceed. Now, you have the point that you're sitting on. You're going to breathe in up from that, all the way up. Now, as you exhale, I want you to look at the point in front of you, perhaps where your point on the wall is, and you're going to exhale and send a line from your tailbone right on out forward into space, into that point. And as you breathe in, bring it back in, right along that line. Bring it up. And this time we'll send our focus to the back. So you exhale. It hits the bottom of the spine, and you send a line behind yourself, straight back. A straight line now, forward and back, is in your awareness. Breath comes in, and we're going to this time send it out to the right side. Exhale right on out. And you're going to set a certain spatial parameter, let's say maybe 8, 10, 12 feet to the side in your awareness. Bring it back in. Energize. And then exhale and send it to the left. Right on out to a point, anchored into that point, and bring it back in. So we've done the cross to a square, but now we're going to do the diagonals. One diagonal at a time while we're at the root. Breath is in. Exhale, send it to the front right diagonal of the square that you're in. Right in there, and anchor it into that corner. Get it to hold, and then pull it back in. Hits the base of the spine, energize it, bring it up through all the layers of the spine, the energy centers, and exhale now to the back right diagonal. See it in your mind's eye, the back right. Push it back there and exhale right into that corner. And make sure that corner is really square to the front corner. Not like wobbling, it's square, it's locked in, and bring it in. Same thing to the back left diagonal. Exhale. The back left, anchor it in, get it to stay, bring it back, and then we'll do the front left exhale. Push it right into that corner. Anchor it. Bring it in. Now, we're going to do a little trick. We're going to go to all these dimensions at once. So prepare yourself. Take a full breath in. They're all going to spread out to each corner and each side of the box. Keep exhaling into it and bring it in. So we've set up, in a sense, a hologram of the square that we're sitting upon. Now once there's a square, then there's a circle that moves around the square. And the circle can move either direction. So take a breath in. And right around the parameter of that square, exhale and take a circle all the way around. Front, right, back, straight behind you. Back, left, all the way around. And then just reverse the circle and take it behind you. Now feel this space. Make sure it's equidistant. The corners are all equidistant in this square circle configuration. Take a moment. Notice if you feel a little steadier, a little stronger, a little more grounded, a little more present here while sitting. Now bring your awareness to your pelvis. This is to your second chakra. And we're going to map it out also. As we proceed, the mapping will get a little quicker today. We won't spend quite as much time. But first, let's align this one front and back at the same time. So here's how we do it. We breathe in. It's going to take 4 counts to go forward. 1, 2, lock it in. Bring it to the center. Send it to the back. Anchor it and bring it back to center. We'll do that to each of the corners and the other sides. Breathe in. To the front right, exhale, 2, lock it in, bring it back to center, and continue the exhalation to the back corner and bring it back to center. Right, then left, exhale. Back right corner, all the way back. Anchor it in your mind's eye, in your feeling center. Bring it back to home, out to the front diagonal corner. Make sure everything gets even keeled. Make sure it all gets squared up and in. Now it's back front. Exhale to the back. 2, 3, 4, center. Exhale front. 2, 3, 4, and back home. Back left diagonal. Exhale. Bring it center, front right, and bring it in. See, once you get it started, it can all happen more quickly. Breathing in, expansion, and then the exhale hits the root, hits that center of that chakra, goes left, goes right, and home, and then front diagonal, exhale, front diagonal, lock it in, bring it back. Take it to the back right, lock it in, bring it home, and we've gone around. Take a circle around to the right. Feel it. Feel those places. Be aware of them behind you. What's that space like? What's your spatial awareness like behind you at this level of energy and home? Solar plexus. Exhale to the front. This time we're just going to bring it back home. Exhale to the right diagonal. See if we can quicken this to the right side. To the back right diagonal. And at some point, it's not about your physical exhalation and your physical breath. There's just a steadiness. But the energy has already begun to move into patterns, And you can feel it moving through your body. And the energy has its own expansion and contraction that doesn't necessarily need to be reciprocated by the breath. Bring it to the heart. Front. Front right diagonal. Be aware of the difference of the feelings of these centers. Right. Sense of softness, the space as it opens. Back right diagonal. Directly behind you. Back left. Perpendicular left. Front left diagonal. Directly front. Come to the center of the heart. Take a breath in and just feel the heart open to all those angles and corners. 8 feet away. 10 feet away. Expand your square in your box. 20, 40, 100 feet. See how long it takes you to get to 100 feet away. Then bring it in, right to the center of the heart. Move your awareness up to the throat. Back to your normal square size to the front. A little exhalation, a little sound. To the front right. Side right, a little sound. Back right. You see energy manifests itself through light, sound, feeling, and of course, movement. Back home. Home, back home, I said. Home, home. Through the eye center. Right in your third eye center, you're going to go right out to that point in space and anchor it in there. Zip right in there, focus it right in there, lock it in and pull it back. So we're up on a higher plane now, right? Front right corner. Anchor it in there. Right side. Back right. You're mapping out, creating conscious space to the back inside of your own psychic, placing yourself into this dimensionality on Earth and connecting to the higher, more subtle realms. Staying focused, staying with your breath, right back out to that point. And bring it in. We'll go to the crown in a moment. But there's one more aspect here I want to cover with you. You have this point in front of you, and you have yourself here at your center axis. In three-dimensional space, there's a wave that has a feeling of beginning, middle, and end. So if I send my focus out, it's going to go halfway out and then turn and move to the rest of the way. In fact, it's a sine wave. And on the return, it comes back in halfway and comes back into center. Now, whether it's halfway or quarter waves, thirds, it doesn't matter. There's a wave that moves to a point in space and moves back in. It's a phrasing. So this is me, and this is my point. To get there with my focus, I see it halfway, and there's a feeling that I've completed halfway, and then it moves, and there's a feeling that it's anchored in and completed itself. It pauses before it brings it back in, and there's a feeling that it goes halfway, and a feeling that it comes back in, rides its way into center. And it's this feeling, this kinesthetic awareness, incredibly important, that keeps you anchored in all your vision quests inside this body. That all this has a wave expansion of knowing, of feeling, of sound, of seeing. And it gives you stability, and it connects you to another wave of expansion that's always happening, certainly as long as you're living here, the one in the heart. You can place your hands on your heart and see if you can just feel it beating. There's a wave beginning, middle, and end. Pa-dum, da-da. Pa-dum, da-da. Pa-dum, da-da. Now, go to your crown point. Breathe in. This time breathe in above the crown. And as you exhale, you're going to take a line of energy from the earth and from above, and it's going to go as it meets right there, and then send it out, front and back. Bring it in. And then to the corner, right corner. Comes together. Bring it in. Feel it drop, feel it anchor, gain earth energy, gain spiritual energy, bring it all the way up to this point above your head, the center of the crown, and send it to the back diagonal, front diagonal. Back first, front next. Back left corner. Left side, right side. Front diagonal, back diagonal, and back on home. Take a full breath in. Bring your awareness back to the root. We're just going to make a soft Om sound, centering in each one of these energy centers that you've mapped out and brought clarity to geometric form, which expands and creates a higher vibration in the frequencies. And what happens then is that this frequency at the base and down into the earth grounds you as your base node. And when it's grounded, it allows the next frequency at the next chakra to be in a different octave. Or then to the solar plexus to be another octave, to begin to add overtones to the waves of energies so that the frequency begins to increase in vibration and brings a coherency to the higher vibrations so that they're anchored into the base note of your being on earth at this time in this space. The frequency of the earth, the Schumann waves, whatnot, are around 8 hertz. An explorer in the energy work was Valerie Hunt, and when I met her back in the late 70s, she was doing research telling scientists, you need to have machines that can measure 13,000 hertz for the crown. They had nothing like that. They had no idea that the body could have that high of a frequency. We've come a long way with our science to validate what's going on energetically in our awareness and in our consciousness. So, breathe in. Take your focus into that point in front of you. Just let a soft Om come out. awareness to the second chakra. Breathe in. Bring your awareness to the third chakra. That exhalation hits that point. When you bring it to the heart, be soft in your lungs and your chest. This is not like singing. See if you can allow the sound to actually be affected by the beating of the heart as it presses against the lungs and affects the amount of air that then comes out through the vocal cords. It'll give it a little wave sound. Awareness to the throat. Into the third eye. And then finally, to the crown. Now, if you do this with another person, and you both bring yourself into alignment, all sorts of things may happen to you visually. You might begin to see emanations around them, auras or flashes of light, or maybe you'll see through different layers of their lifetimes. Just sit there and let it all pass by, and you stay focused. And you begin to open up your intuitive system, and you begin to know things about them, you know things about yourself. So just make it a sacred space, a sacred platform, a sacred experience as it deepens you into your levels of awareness, your explorations of consciousness. So we'll leave it at that today. And I hope you continue to join me as we learn to harness our energies, move them through the chakras, put them into our visions, put them into our bodies, explore the space that we live in, manifesting your dreams here and now. Thank you. Namaste.